Welcome to the Sacramento Flight Standards District Office. My name is Janessa Adamas, and as the Administrative Officer of this FAA Field Office, I provide advice and guidance to our employees and management team on an array of issues. I interpret guidelines and maintain various administrative programs. With these responsibilities comes a distinct honor and privilege of working with an incredibly talented and experienced group of people. Please join us as we take a look inside our office and meet the hardworking men and women that together make up our exceptional team.
The Sacramento Flight Standards District Office, or FSDO, is unique in that we have 24 technical and administrative employees comprising somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 years total aviation experience, both field, military, civilian, and various other areas. In addition to the 24 employees that actually work in this field office, we have 10 tenant employees that work in other parts of the Federal Aviation Administration. We have computer specialists that work from headquarters. We have 3 headquarters division employees. We have 2 regional FAA safety team employees. And we have program managers that travel the nation and world over to deal with special programs, all of whom reside in this building. We have a community work experience employee, which is a program that's funded by the state of California and the federal government to allow people to get work experience will make them more marketable in the work environment outside of here. I'm really proud to say that we've had 14 of those employees in the last 8 years, all of whom are now gainfully employed out in the system, some of whom work for the police department, for airlines, and other things. It's a real win-win situation for employees or for individuals to get work experience with us, do a super job, go out into the civilian industry, and move forward in their career and lives. This Flight Standards District Office, the Sacramento FSDO, is responsible for a very large geographic part of the state of California. It reaches from Nevada up to Oregon and over to the Bay Area. Inside of our district, we have over 170 airports, over 5,000 certificated pilots, and over 5,000 certificated aircraft mechanics. We're responsible for the oversight, certification, and safety of all those individuals in airports. So we do accident investigation, we do enforcement, which is a little bit like being a police officer, sometimes good, sometimes not so fun. We do airman certification, we oversee a major 121 passenger airline. We oversee several airlines that are private business type of charter operations, and we oversee over 60 FAA certificated repair stations. These are facilities that work repairing aircraft for customers all over the world.
Elements of airworthiness and maintenance for our office, well, for anything, is defined in the regulations. Inspections, preventive maintenance, alterations and repairs. Airplanes are machines, as you know, they break and they need to be fixed. So we have a group of airmen out there that we oversee. They're mechanics, some with inspection authorizations, and we're tasked with the oversight of the maintenance they do and the quality of that.
We have multiple size operators, from very small single pilot, single airplane operators to we have 2 operators here in the FSDO which we're very proud of, which also are very large. One's an international 135 operator that has up to approximately now 50 jet type aircraft and over 200 pilots, and they fly internationally. That's one of our large 135 operators. We also have one of the largest helicopter medical services operator. They're one of the largest in the nation, and they're also assigned to our office. We also have 2 what we call ASAP, which are Aviation Safety Action Programs, which are makes the pilots available and mechanics available to put in reports regarding systems that have broken down, that they can report through this system and not have any liability in terms of us carrying forth any sort of investigation on them. We have 2 of those. One is for the, again, the large 135 operator that we have, and the other one is for our it's one of our Part 125 operators, but they are actually like a small airline. They handle thousands of passengers a month. They fly all over the western United States. And so we also manage that certificate. In addition to that, they have an ASAP program, which is one of the only ones in the country. Some of the key roles that they do on a daily basis are they do flight checks or check rides. Each operator has pilots on their staff. Those pilots require check rides by our regulation. Some of the companies have their own check airmen, but our inspectors are ultimately responsible for those pilots to ensure that those check rides are performed correctly and that those pilots are current. This affects obviously aviation safety because these same pilots are out flying the general public for these certain charter flights. Some of the other things we do is air carrier management, certificate management. Each inspector, their principal operations inspector, are assigned operators. They are responsible for those operators to ensure, again, that those operators comply with all rules, regulations, and guidance that they have to ensure they're doing it safely, so when they provide their services to the public, they'll be it in a safe manner. A couple of the other things is they do certificate certification functions. If a new operator comes into our office and wants to apply for a charter certificate or a school certificate, then it's assigned to an inspector coupled with his counterpart in the airworthiness world, and then they go through the certification process. And the last but not least is unfortunately accident investigation.
Through those accidents, we contribute to safety by the investigation of those accidents. And out of the investigation come different things we find. And through research, we can up-channel those as safety directives or as safety recommendations. And hopefully they'll become something that we'll be able to use, or that the FAA will be able to use to put out to the general flying public as recommendations, or maybe an airworthiness directive or something to make aviation safer than it already is.
One of the capacities we serve the non-flying public here in the FSDO is we have regional air shows within our district. And they range from everything from small airport air shows all the way up to the Mather Air Show. We go as safety monitors for these air shows. They encompass all acts from small single pilot acts right up to the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels. So in that way, we are there to safety monitors to ensure that the show and the performers follow their show routines in a safe manner, and therefore we can protect the public and have them enjoy the show.
I'm very proud of the FSDO's efforts in the area of the Real World Design Challenge. The Real World Design Challenge is a private and government coalition working together to increase high school age students' participation in science, technology, and engineering fields. This is a contest-based system that's funded entirely by private contributions by aviation industry companies, that high school teams work together to solve a technical aerospace engineering kind of problem. They compete at the local and state level, and eventually at the national level. This is an effort to get more young people involved in these technical fields, help them in their own careers and in this country's moving forward. This FSDO is working with the state of California, because we are so close to the governor's office, to get California to be more active and to participate in this program. And we think it's a win-win for us, for private industry, and for all these young people. There are two really important parts of this staff. The most important, clearly, is our dedication to aviation safety. That's what we're here for. All the rest of the things we do are here to improve aviation safety, to take care of the flying public. And we do that through our professionalism and mostly these people here. The synergy that comes from our own 24 employees and those 10 extra employees creates an environment that is just unbelievably dynamic in improving aviation safety.